Yes, Swati, in fact, legal editor Harish is giving us a minute-by-minute update. The dictation of order is still going on. The Supreme Court bench headed by CGI had reserved the order in November. And in fact, a very important and pertinent point that has been raised by the bench of Chief Justice of India is that newspaper reports cannot be concluded as a credible evidence. Unverified press reports cannot have precedence over a probe by a statutory authority. Remember, various leaders of opposition, including Rahul Gandhi and others, have time and again quoted articles that had appeared in foreign press, particularly in Financial Times, as gospel truth, as something that was used by them to target Adani, and saying that because the reports are appearing in a section of foreign media, these reports are credible. The Supreme Court, in its dictation, we don't have the order copy, but the bench that is headed by Chief Justice of India, in its dictation, has said that the newspaper reports cannot be concluded as credible evidence. Unverified press reports cannot have precedence over a probe by statutory authorities. Now, when the hearing was taking place, what had happened is that many of the petitioner had questioned the probe that was being carried out by SEBI. The Supreme Court has further said that the powers of Supreme Court to enter into regulatory domain of SEBI in framing delegated legislation is limited. What it means is that because the probe is already being carried out by SEBI, so the role of Supreme Court is very limited. No valid grounds invoked for us to direct SEBI to revoke its regulation. Now, SEBI had said that it has been probing this case and that there was no malfeasance or there was no illegality in the probe that it was carrying out. Probe to be completed by SEBI in 3 months, given the Solicitor General Tushar Mehta's assurance that the probe that is going on in this case will be completed within 3 months. SEBI had already submitted its various report, and the reliance that is being placed on OCC PR report. Now, there is a group of journalists that were in fact publishing various reports on Adani is rejected, and reliance on a third-party organization report without any verification cannot be relied upon as a proof. Now, because there are various reports that were appearing in the section of media, on social media, at various platforms, which was being used not only by opposition but Swati, by various other influencers in social media as gospel truth. Now, Supreme Court has made it very clear that just because these reports are appearing in newspaper, on social media, it cannot be used to target a business empire, to target individuals, to target a conglomerate, and that Supreme Court will obviously rely on the probe that is being carried out by SEBI. And also the Supreme Court has rejected the demand that has been made by a bunch of PILs asking for SIT. Obviously, it's a big setback for opposition, which had in fact believed what was appearing in a section of media, what was appearing, which in fact relied on Hindenburg report.
Right. The Supreme Court is also saying that you cannot treat Hindenburg report as the true state of affairs. So the court, in fact, has upheld the report by its own panel. Going by that, there'll be repercussions, ramifications of this. This will be seen, politically speaking, Bhavtosh, as a shot and arm for the Bharatiya Janata Party, because the opposition has often drawn links, between BJP and the Adani, saying no action being taken against him, but opposition is being targeted.
Yes, Swati, various speeches of Rahul Gandhi, or for that matter, various leaders of India Alliance have always said that the Prime Minister, right from the Prime Minister to any BJP leaders, are all in fact supporting crony capitalism, Adani, and for past 1 year, even before that, they have always said that they
in
are
fact, Bhavtosh, we're joined by our legal editor Harish. Let's quickly go across to him. So it's a big development. Court has refused to order fresh probe. Harish, give us more details. What transpired?
Yes, Swati, it's a big victory, in fact, for the Adani Group, facing charges of stock price manipulation, market manipulation, accounting fraud, breach of laws, fraudulent transaction, as claimed by the controversial Hindenburg report. As the Supreme Court bench led by the Chief Justice has for the time being upheld the clean sheet given to the conglomerate by the Supreme Court probe panel in May this year, and also decided to wait for the completion of investigation by SEBI. Remember, SEBI had told Supreme Court that out of 24 cases and 22 investigations over, so in the remaining 2 cases, SEBI has been given 3 months months time to complete. So as of now, the biggest development is that the Supreme Court has refused to order a fresh SIT criminal investigation against the Adani Group. Some of the big observations are that SEBI is competent body. The Supreme Court has said that in fact, Supreme Court has said the Supreme Court panel's investigation or SEBI investigation cannot be disbelieved.
Right.
Remember, the petitioners had raised questions and also questioned the credibility of the investigations done by the Supreme Court panel headed by retired Supreme Court Judge A.M. Sapre, and also the ongoing probe by the SEBI questioning the
credentials. So SEBI has been asked to incorporate suggestions by the committee which was headed by Justice A.M. Sapre. I want to bring in Akanksha because investor interest has also been taken into consideration by the Supreme Court and has asked to strengthen regulatory guidelines.
Has power to transfer the investigations, but
Akanksha?
unless it found some concrete grounds, then it can only do, otherwise it will not interfere. Is it relief to Adani? See.
Okay, I think Akanksha is not able to hear me, but as far as today's verdict is concerned, the Supreme Court has refused a fresh probe in the case. The court said there is no ground to transfer the probe in the case and can only be raised if there is willful or deliberate violation. It also said that the order for probe cannot be based on media reports. With that, we're slipping into a very short break. News and updates will continue. Stay on with us.